know where Gary went at him, so take it away.
Well, I think you're in the back, and you probably heard what I just asked Bruce. But when you think about everything that went into this game and the way that it played out and all the things you celebrate on a night like tonight, is this the vision of what you want this program to look like on a consistent basis?
Yeah. This is, this was a culmination of, a lot of hard work and fight and handling adversity well, and the response from Buckeye Nation was incredible. Like that's what college basketball is all about. It's so many levels. Celebrating a guy who, went to the same university for 4 years, got a degree, is in the record books, huge game, like against a really good team. Like, go down the line, Adam, fighting for weekend games at home, there was so much that went into the moment today. A lot of people have played a major role in that. But this is like, we're building something. Thanks, Gary. And this is a huge step for us.
The confidence, the swagger, all those things, especially since the Iowa game when you guys obviously you've won 3 in a row now. But with all that you had coming into this game, how confident were you that you guys would handle this the appropriate way and not get bogged down by all the extra stuff that came into it? And how does that, I guess, justify or validate how you've been playing here this recent stretch?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I wasn't a little nervous about, how we would handle all the emotion and everything that this game represented. But I had confidence in the maturity of this group, and we approached this. I know you're probably like, well, you always say that, but like, we literally approached this like we have approached every game. Now, I also said, hey, this is an important moment. We're going to honor, a few guys here who deserve to be honored, but how you honor them with your play is doing your job at a high level, playing with great fight and toughness and being connected. So we didn't, pretend like that part didn't exist. But yeah, we prepped the same way, we focused the same. We didn't have this bunch of talk about it. We addressed it, and our guys are locked in at a high level. So I was a little nervous though, certainly, because the energy in there. I mean, just a really good team, by the way. All the stuff that went into this last home game, all of it. So our guys, they stepped up. Really stepped up.
How aware were you that Bruce, how much he wanted to play in the NCAA tournament, and that this trivia question of he could have been the all-time leading scorer who never played in a tournament, and now, not to jinx it, but it looks like you're in good shape. What does that mean to you that a guy that's toiled and stuck around is finally going to be able to do that? He and I have had a lot of conversation about this season before it started, and honest conversation, right? Hard conversations, emotional conversations at times, but he's developed a firm foundation that he stands on, and there hasn't had to be there in the past. He and I have had to talk about things you gotta block out and all this stuff, but I think we were just committed to having great joy this season, sticking together no matter what, and he has embraced just the moment. He hasn't made it about himself, which a lot of people would, and rightfully so, but he hasn't. He's been focused on winning. He's been motivated. But we didn't shy away from it. We just said, you know what, we're going to give this all we got, and he's followed through on that. He just, from the minutes he plays to how he plays to how he practices. You gotta understand, I've talked a lot about missing guys. He doesn't miss practice. I literally have to take him out of reps sometimes. I'm yelling at, Braylon Nash and Miles Hero sometimes for not getting in and subbing him out, So I know I've talked a lot about him and how he approaches things, but I wish you guys could follow him around for a week and see what he does, because he's earned this.
He really has.
For you, I mean, I know you're laser focused on doing the day-to-day, but your thoughts for him to finally be able to March Madness and the whole thing, just personally.
Yeah, I want it for him. You know, there's no question. There's not a, you know, again, when I got this job and you kind of look around and say, okay, like, how do you build this? Well, the first guy I went to was Bruce Thornton. It was the first guy I went to. And, you know, so yeah, like, I've wanted this for him in the worst way, but we were able to navigate that in, I think, just such a beautiful manner because of the relationship we have. And we just focused on having a good day one day at a time. We never got too high. We never got too low. We just kept trusting the process and working and building. And we surrounded him with a group of great guys that he can lead well. And there's just so many factors that go into it. But I've wanted it for him. Absolutely.
Jake, I know you say be your best late all the time, and I assume you're talking about within the game, but can you apply that to the full season as well, like ripping off 3 wins to end the season to make sure that you are playing your best late in the season?
That's pretty good. I might steal that for the next time we meet as a team, because I wasn't thinking about that. I'm just thinking about the next day. But I've spoke about this, right? I think there's a lot that's going on that's helped us play in the way we are lately. Part of it is getting healthy. You know, that makes a difference, and not just being available. Like, we've had guys who have played in games in the last month or so who really didn't get to practice or were limited in practice leading into the game, and that impacts you. And then we found out on game day. So I think that's helped, right? What also has been probably the most important ingredient is the chemistry this group has. Like, they are close. They work extremely hard. And they encourage each other. They have each other's back. I mean, it's a really close group. So I think those two things, and the fact that we've been able to like really get better at some stuff, is, you know, why we're playing our, you know, some of our best ball of the year. And you got to do that in this league. I mean, this league is a marathon. Every single game is hard. Home, road, it doesn't matter. It's all hard. And so, you know, we're peaking at the right time. It's something we've talked about. It is be your best late, and helps to do it at the end of the season. I'm not going to give you credit for that in front of the team. Hopefully they're not watching. All right, I'm stealing that, but it is true. Absolutely.
Building, tough to sell it out. Got to sell out tonight. I'm sure Gary probably knows when the last one is. I don't. How impactful was the crowd for you guys tonight?
It was huge. It was, you know, it was like when I walked out to start the game, it felt different. It felt different, and make no mistake, that impacts winning. It impacts winning, and our fans showed up. You know, hopefully this is a sign of great things to come for this program, and I think we've seen that as this year has progressed. And so, you know, by all accounts, hopefully, you know, we got a lot of season left, right? And we get that support wherever we're at, starting in Chicago next week. But today was huge. Buckeye Nation showed up in a huge way, and it felt different. You felt it the whole game, and it was great to be able to kind of look up there and see that after the game. Just, I thought the energy was incredible.
The way Bruce was talking about kind of his approach to getting the record, right, and his confidence that, you know, it'll come when it comes. He was even saying that the 3 to break it, he was thinking about a 2 for 1 more so than even just the record there.
Yeah.
How much does that, I guess, kind of even keel approach, even when he's going through the success, how much did that show up even, you know, some of the tough times, like he was talking about after the Iowa game, how it felt like do or die? Like, how much does that mentality help regardless of what the situation is?
It was big time, and it was important. And our guys have been messing with them a little bit, you know, joking with them and have had fun with it. But, like, when he steps on the court, he's consumed with winning. And that's part of, and we have a motto in our team this year: winning over everything. And again, you need players to live that out. He does. Like, it is all about winning for him. It could very certainly be about other stuff, but all he cares about is winning. And so it was the right play to go for 2 for 1 there. No, we shouldn't have let him roll it a little bit, I think, after that. But, you know, that was it was the right play, and I loved it. I had no clue how many points he had at that point in time. People at first I was like, man, really excited. It was a big shot, but then I kind of figured like, oh, okay, because David Egelhoff is like keeping me from going to the locker room. So awesome that we can have them. I want to
thank Dennis Hobson for being here, and sharing that moment. I've talked about this as Bruce has. I mean, Jerry Lucas was in the list of former players we had here was incredible. There's such an important part of our program and what we're building. They play a major role in that. But for Dennis to be here, he spoke to our team today, for him to be celebrated for what he accomplished, but our guys didn't realize he averaged dang near 30 points a game, And they were talking about that, like, man, that guy averaged almost 30 points a game in college. Like that stuff was big time. I'm just thankful our former players showed up and supported us today. It was special.
We talked about it a little bit, but are you an NCAA tournament team?
I think so. I think so. I said this before. I think you got to trust our metrics and resume. I think we're peaking at the right time. We're healthy at the right time. We're getting healthier. We've beat really good teams. I just found out I think Wisconsin won today, so we gained a quad one win today too. Like they're going to move up, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know how many games we won in Big Ten play, but you win 12 games in the Big Ten in this league, like that says something. And I think that was another team today that deserves to be in. That's a good team. It's a good team. It's really hard. It's really hard in this league, to win. And we've won 12 games. That's a good and we're playing the right way at the right time. So yeah, I mean, you guys are probably more experts than me. So
yeah. And you mentioned guys honoring guys by you told your guys honor these guys. What about the way Amari played in terms of that?
I've said this. I love coaching him. I see so much, in the way he approaches each day and the joy he has. I see reminds me a lot of Bruce when he was a freshman. He's going to have his own career, and we're not comparing player. I just approach and joy, and I think that's why he's continued to. We're seeing growth almost right by the week, and he's big time performance. 9 rebounds, couple threes. Protected the rim for us at times. I thought it was really impressive what he did out there.
Jake.
Oh wow, what'd you do to get that?
Got fired and started my own thing. Worked out well. I know that Bruce is always top of the scouting report for your opponents, but I think he got fouled without the ball like 2 or 3 times tonight. It seemed like they were throwing 2 at him sometimes. He just had to work really hard to kind of get everything that he got, including the assist and not turning the ball over. How would you characterize this game against some others in terms of like the physicality that Bruce had to deal with tonight?
Yeah, that was he sees physicality every game. I'm been arguing for 2 years now that he should shoot more free throws, but he did shoot 11, so they're probably telling me like shut up, But this is a physical league, and you got to embrace that. We try to play physical. Sometimes we're a little too physical, but he's built for it. And I think what we've been able to do with the other, when we're healthy, we have multiple playmakers out there, so we can move him around better. Junie, you saw Junie with the ball at the top of the key a lot more, because we were able to get kind of Bruce moving and get him on the run to get a catch and try to get an advantage. So to have that ability, and then, Tilly has been able to play and make for us at times. I think Devin has improved as a playmaker this year. And that's been really key for us. So it's a luxury with our versatility offensively to be able to move guys around instead of just, give them the ball at the top of the key and have every defender kind of looking at him and commit to him. No pressure. No pressure. No, you are more than me with this tournament stuff.
I was totally kidding. Your natural inclination is going to be to deflect this success off to your players, and I get that. But this is a very big moment for you in building a program. You talk about this process, trusting the process, but it's your process. Do you think you'll take a moment tonight to kind of breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that you probably are going to the tournament for the first time?
I think I view my responsibility in this program to serve this program as well as I possibly can. This is not about, me. It is my job is to serve this program as well as I possibly can, as hard as I possibly can, and in that serve these players.
as well as I possibly can. Like that is my focus. I just like it's hard, right? Thankfully, like I walk with Jesus, so I'm not alone. And you know, and I believe like I'm serving him in this position. So that's my focus. That's it. Like serve our players and serve this program, the players who came before us, like as well as I possibly can. And I like if it's not sleeping, if it's not whatever, that's the job I've been given. And you know, I take that responsibility very seriously. So no, I mean I got to go recruiting, you know, like, I mean, and we're not done yet. You know, we're not done yet. We can't change now. We can't change our approach, our focus. I appreciate the question, but like, if you ask me what's your job, serve these players in this program as well as you possibly can. That's my job, you know, and certainly to win, do that so it impacts winning, right? That's how I feel my job is. And so we're going to move on from this. You know, if I can get home at a decent time, yeah, maybe I'll have a beverage. We won't talk about what kind of beverage specifically, but we'll have a beverage and you know, get up and work hard tomorrow.
Way through the season, when Brandon went down, this team was kind of in search of someone off the bench to step up. And it felt for a while that that person was still yet to be determined. Tayson, 4 or 5 today, 11 points. How satisfied are you with him and the role he's stepped into, especially down the stretch here?
Yeah, like you guys who have followed this program closely know what that young man has been through. And we've, you know, I've coached him hard. I've asked a lot of him. Like, you know, he's overcome a lot, and I'm so happy for him. We need him. That's why I keep reminding him. That's why I'm coaching him hard. Like, we need you. You can really impact this team in a big way. And we saw it. You know, it's not just the 11 points, which is great. Like, he can keep doing that by all means. But, you know, 4 rebounds, and he's, you know, he's had games with multiple assists, and he's improved defensively. And he stayed the course because, you know, I played him a little bit, and then I didn't play him, and then played him, you know, and he kept working. And there were some things I wanted to see, and he started to show some of that. And he earned, like, make no mistake, he earned this. You know, he's worked hard, he's stayed consistent, he's improved, and he is a very important part of our team right now. Very important part. He stepped up when we were injured and kind of seized an opportunity, right, and didn't let go. And that says a lot for a guy who's been through what he's been through, right? Like he's been through a lot. So couldn't be happier for him. He's got to keep going because he's really important to the success of this team.
I wanted to ask more about Amari Byerson because obviously the 14 points in the first half is big, and you talked about the energy he brings. But I thought defensively tonight had a pretty good game too with the 2 steals. The chase down block felt huge. How have you felt him grow on that area of the floor as the season's progressed?
Yeah, it feels like he's growing by the week, you know, honestly. It's a tough ask, you know, what we were asking him to do defensively today. And now you're seeing him, we're playing him in multiple positions. He's changing coverages in the middle of the game. And his motor, his instincts are continuing, like as he's trusting it more. He was impressive. I didn't even know he scored that many points at the first half. I wasn't even looking at that. But that, you know, he's hit big shots. Like, he's hit some big shots for this team too now. You know, so just an impressive young player. I think the sky's the limit for him.
And Bruce talked about it a little bit, but the way this team coalesced after the Iowa game, part of it's getting healthy, like you talked about, but a lot of definitely outside noise was feeling pretty down on this team after that loss, and you guys stayed together. How did the locker room coalesce and really find a way to peak through that 3-game stretch?
Yeah, we took ownership of the things we did wrong in that game, and we talked about it in the locker room at Iowa, and we said we're going to leave this here, and we're not doing this again. Like, we're going to leave this here. Everybody took ownership of things they needed to do better. We went around the room, you know, some words were said, and you know, and then we left it there. We moved on. I think it's important. You got it. Win or lose in this league, you know, you have to be able to move on quickly because you can't rest on the win. You can't, you know, sulk on a loss. Like, you got to get ready for the next one. There's a good team that you have to play next. That's how this league is. So we left it there, and I think this team has,
embrace that style of coaching and those things, but I think that was an important part. We move forward.
Jake, you said Bruce is like a son to you, and your wife view him as part of your family. What was your advice to him right before he took the floor tonight?
And just be yourself. Have fun. Be yourself. You're built for it. Have some fun out there, man. And I joked with him earlier in the day. I was like, man, everybody's acting like this is the last game you're ever going to play. So I think we still got some basketball left. So go out there, man. Enjoy the moment. Then just be yourself. Like, that's it.
Speaking of the basketball that you guys have left, how does this team want to be remembered?
I don't know that necessarily we've thought about that. I think our focus is on what's next. We got to get ready for Big Ten tournament, another great opportunity in front of us to continue to play, high-level basketball at both sides for longer stretches of the game. I'm sure this will be the type of group that will take some time, I think, after the season when it's finally over to reflect on that because they're so close. But I don't know that we've talked or thought about that. Like, we've been so focused on the task at hand, and right now that's getting ready for the Big Ten tournament. All right, guys, thank you. Have a good night.